What is up, Tube? Welcome back to Guido's Chop Shop, the second best gelblaster channel on the tubes. It's been a minute since I've had a good old-fashioned BOLBR, and here we are with none other than the M45A1 Colt. It is a WeTech. It's a WeTech brand. It is a gel blaster. That's what we're here for. It is brown. Do not adjust your TVs. It is brown. This is a brown blaster, and it is a pretty blaster. I mean, in terms of the single stack 1911 variant of blaster, I don't mess around with them much because you know, the 2011 double stack capper, it just seems to be a better magazine. However, upon looking at this magazine, I see a few nice little features that I might touch on later, but for now, let's just take a look at this beautiful piece of work. We've got the thumb safeties, which are operable from both the left and the right side, so you can ambi your heart out. They of course only work when it is racked. It is also equipped with the safety on the back strap there that again won't let you fire it unless you are holding it, which is nice as well. Nice design, true to the real steel compadre of this beauty. Now, first things first, let's put some gas in this magazine and some gels, and we'll take it to the chrono. Now, first of all, the gas port is down in there, and I am not sure how the base plate comes off of this to make access to that gas port easier. There is a hole there, so I should be able to fit my filler nozzle down in there. Okay, well, for the life of me, I cannot fill this magazine because my nozzle is not long enough to get deep enough into the mag to fill the valve, and the mag plate actually doesn't come off unless you remove these pins which actually holds the gas, the valve in it. So if you take that out, you release all the gas. Not that there's any gas in there to start with, but I've even got a nozzle extender, this little black plastic bit that I could pop on to my nozzle to extend it a bit. However, that also doesn't fit into the hole, so rip, I don't know how I'm going to fill that magazine. Fortunately, I have another one with a flat base plate that doesn't stick out as much, and that one I can actually fit the nozzle into, so we can actually fill that one up. Preferably not sideways, but it's a start. So I'll have to use this magazine. Other than the base plate, the magazines are identical for what it's worth. They are both exactly the same. So I will show you the feature that I do enjoy about these magazines. So these magazines have a spring on the side that you can slide down and then lock into a little column there, which holds that down And this little hole here allows you easy access to fill your gels. Look at that. They're all filled in there. And gels, for those playing at home, are a super absorbent polymer, also known as an Orbi in some circles, that are soft and benign and definitely not lethal. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 gels in that. Could probably squeeze another one in, maybe. No, I think that's fully capped. Yep. And then release that spring. And that should be ready to roll. Actually, I'm going to do something a little different before I chrono this. I'm actually going to take it down and give it a once over first, because I've had a quick squeeze at this and it does look like it is fairly dry, so I will put a bit of oil in it before I start spamming that trigger. So let's take it down and check the oil situation first. I've removed the mag already, so let's release that slide. What? What is with this recoil rod? Or lack thereof. It's got like half a recoil rod. Is that? Oh, right, I see. I see what they've done. Right, so that because only the barrel extends out of the slide when you rack it, the actual recoil rod doesn't. So they've halved the recoil rod so that it basically just goes into this little thing there. Okay, cool. This isn't looking too crash hot on the front here. Let me... Looks like it's been mashed a little bit here. This... Not great. This is out of the box. I imagine that was probably done in manufacturing. Perhaps this was overturned or something a little when they jammed this part in, and it's bent like that. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I can fix that. I just need to gently flatten that out. I'll do that shortly. Barrel comes out the front. Does have the nice little 45 ACP markings on it, and internally we have a alloy barrel that is 7.1 millimeters in diameter and about 97 millimeters long. Now, this does appear to be completely dry. with no lubricating goodness anywhere inside here. So that is one reason why I decided to take this down first before I did any chrono testing or anything. So I'm going to give these parts a bit of a lube before I go any further. The trigger seems nice. Everything seems nice, it just needs a little bit of oil. Alright, I'll get on to that. Okay, so giving this a little bit of a beat down with a hammer just gently. It's a little bit upsetting that I had to, but now it seems reasonably flat. Let's reassemble this. I've also popped a bit of oil in the appropriate places, some grease in the appropriate places as well. Oh yeah, that fits nicely there now. Excellent. Okay, this is going to be interesting, popping this thing back in. It just sort of sits there. Alright, cool. Hope that it stays. Excellent. Alright, pop this back there, and I did put a little bit of excessive grease. It does feel nice, so I am just going to wipe down a bit of the excess that has come out the back from racking the slide a few times. And also just give the whole thing a bit of a wipe. Alright. Oh, that feels a lot nicer. It was virtually completely dry when I got it out of the box, so now it's got some lube in it. I feel happier about taking that to the chrono. Before we do take it to the chrono, let's just have a real quick look at this thing close up. Look at that. Finish is quite nice. Nice brown finish. You got that tactical rail there. The 45 ACP stamp on it. And you can see you've got your triple dot iron sights. Okay, I've cucked you for long enough. Let's rack this and take it to the chrono. Alright, let's do this. It really does feel quite nice in the hand, the slim 1911. Okay, locked back. Let's take a look at those averages. Average of 212, max of 232. Pretty consistently above the twos, not too shabby, not too shabby. Not a bad little blaster. I like the finish. I like the power is reasonable. There's a couple of little things that concern me. The base plate on the magazine. This one that comes with it is too thick for me to be able to easily refill. I'll have to modify my filler to be able to fill it up. Although these flat base plate mags, the replacement 1911 WeTech mags, are identical except with a flat base plate. They do work, but the other thing I noticed, and I don't know if this is a thing with all the single stack. I've never really messed with the single stack mags. I've only really gone with the double stack cappers. But notice the follower here. It's a full circle follower, and it does come up all the way into the lip like that. Now, that's, I mean, I don't know if that's much of an issue, but basically what happens is the feeder arm comes in here and pushes through this gap here, and it pushes the next gel out. And because this comes all the way up there, essentially on empty, the feeder arm can collide with the follower. So I'll give you an example of that. Alright, I've got the exposure turned right up so hopefully you can see this. Now, when I slide this back here, you'll see right there the feeder and the follower are in collision. Now, I'm imagining if that occurred often enough, you would damage the feeder. And you see sometimes it slides in enough that it hits it on just the angle that it pushes the feeder down and it goes forward. But I imagine that if you were to dry fire this enough times, you could probably do damage to that feeder. Obviously, if you pull the slide release down, it will still go all the way forward because the action of pulling the slide release down, in effect, will also pull down that follower. So I don't know if that's a thing with all the single stack 1911s, or if it's just a thing with this. And yeah, so you can see there's, it can, yeah, so it can, but it shouldn't foul up there. I know with the Wells MP5K, it initially, the first batch of followers had an issue somewhat like this, and you would end up breaking, it would break the lips off of the mag because the mag lips weren't very solid on the MP5K. So I don't know if that's an issue with this. I don't know if that's going to be an issue with this. I don't think it's going to break the mag lips or the follower because they seem pretty solid. I reckon if anything was going to break, it would be that feeding bar. Hit me up in the comments if you've got one of these, or you've got a single stack 1911 from WeTech and you're aware of that problem, or you're familiar with it, or if it isn't a problem. Let me know. I'm interested to know because that is something that I've noticed. Another thing I've noticed is the base plate on this is sort of integral to the bottom seal. So it hooks into the bottom seal, and to get the base plate off, I have to knock these two pins out. I might just do this now on camera just to see how we go. Alright, I might just knock these two pins out to see if I can get the base plate off, because I actually want to muck around with this base plate anyway. Alright, so two pins popped, and now if the legend be true, I should be able to slide this out, but I can't. Why can't I? Okay, it is a really, really tight fit with the mag. Okay, so there we go. The base plate actually locks in to that, which is the seal for your gas and the fill port as well. So you can't change your base plate without losing all of your gas. So I don't like that design because I want to like custom make a base plate or something. Yeah, so I wish there was a somewhat better setup than that. Like even a screw in there would be nice. Yeah, so that's I wouldn't mind not having to lose all the gas to take the base plate off. Here's a better shot of that setup. Go like that. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never seen that before. Like I said, I haven't messed with these single stackers before, so I don't know. But the spring is a full circle spring though, which is pretty cool. Just makes it a bit easier to find replacements, I think, because circle springs are easy. And other than that, it is quite a nice pistol. I believe you can. Yes, you can. You can cock it with just the hammer, and that has locked slide back, which is good because it prevents that collision from occurring. Like I said, as long as you don't dry fire it too much, if you are actually you know, operating it within its normal operation, it shouldn't cause a problem. But if you are, like, I don't know, racking it a lot and dry firing a lot, you might find yourself having an issue with that collision. Under normal operation, it shouldn't happen. So just something to be aware of, I guess. Other than that, very nice little blaster. I like the brown. I like the I like this sort of I don't know how you would call this, ivory. Is it ivory? Oh, look, I don't know what you would call this, but nice looking grips on it. And it's got the little loop there for a lanyard or a tether, which I assume is some sort of law enforcement reasoning or something. Little tactical rail there, good for a flashlight or something on the front there. Quite a nice little piece. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that. Shout outs to my supporters who have bought me a coffee. I know it's been a little while. I do have some more videos in the works, so don't worry. If you are interested in buying a patch, you can hit me up in the link below. There's also a link to buy me a coffee as well. Thanks for watching. Peace.